Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, March the 24th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. So I hope everybody's having a profitable week. And as we can see here on the dashboard, all the gaps have filled. And we are 26 pips above the weekly open, right at the psychological 25 level, 58 off the low and 119 off of the high. Today, you can see here, we are within the opening range for the week. We opened above it and then came right down below it. You see, we went below the weekly open and then bounced off about 25 pips above it right now. And we're also above the opening range for the year and the opening range for the month. Speaking of the year, we are 113 pips above the yearly open. 421 off the low and 224 off the high. Notice we had an inside bar 3 days ago, and we opened above it and came down below it. And so you see actually that inside bar was on Tuesday, and you see we're coming back down into it. And there was lots of inside bar action on the pairs this week so far. You can see we're still above the weekly inside bar, but we're within that monthly inside bar from last month. 102 pips on the range. You see we've got plenty of pairs over 100. A lot of yen pairs. I guess people are buying the yen and dumping the dollar because of what's going on with our banks. You can see here we never got a buy zone trigger, but in the short, we definitely had opportunities to short there. You can see here we crisscrossed the weekly open 1, 2, 3 times. So price is pushing above the weekly open, but it's below the daily open. And this is, I used to call this the do not trade zone, because you can get chopped up when in this area right here, because you don't have a clear signal. You know, down here is short, up here long, but in here it's kind of wishy-washy. So when you're in this area between the weekly and the daily, just be careful. Always be careful, but you know, it's just one more thing to consider. Rats. The green rats were trying to feast, but as you can see here, they really haven't feasted that much. Not much of a feast. Well, actually right now you're 12 pips above, so there was a nice move above that 10 a couple of times here. So you could have picked up 10 pips. That's not a feast, but it's nothing to sneeze at either. Okay, pivot trading plan. Bambino indicator said go short, and paid off. Price near the pivot short, price near R1 short. We didn't hit the pivot, and price near S1, it was calling for a long, but that didn't work out. But you can see here around S2 at 22.15 so far would have paid off a few times there, taking that long across S2. That's for the pivot traders. Okay, we didn't hit today's pivot. We didn't hit the pivot on the 20th, which was Monday. So you can see here we've missed 2 daily pivots this week. So they should get taken out. And so far, 4 pivots this month. That's a lot of missed pivots. It looks like we took out a pivot from way back here a couple of days ago. So that pivot finally got filled. On the weekly, got 2 weeks of missing the pivots here. Price is just moving up. And on the monthly, we did take out the monthly pivot. wick zone, in and out of that lower wick zone there at 2261. That was if you put that short on, be happy. There was a lot of pips to be had, about 50 pips or more from 2261 down through the 2100. So anybody who picked up that trade definitely was basking in the pips. And you can see once again that weekly open, how price has been moving, crisscrossing it when it gets down in that area. For the range this week, only 177. So we've had 2 weeks in a row so far under 200 pips. So it seems like something should bust open. I would have thought with all that banking news, it would have definitely put more volatility in the market, but it didn't. So high minus the previous high on the weekly on the breakout, 140 pips, 75 percentile. So that was a nice move if anybody caught that previous week's high breakout. We did not break out of the low. High minus close for you rats on the weekly, 120. And for the green rats, 58. Close minus low. So as you can see, money to be made there. Buy zone traders weekly, high minus open 144, open minus low 33. Once again, pips to be banked. Once again, each trader has to decide, just how much money they're looking to make. Of course, we all want to make as much as we can, but, within a trade, you usually have some parameters. If you're going for a pip or two, just taking the quick price action, or if you're playing, from one line to another, or one level to another, or one area to another. So, and set your stop losses accordingly. You can see here, the range has been kind of muted on the M30 for the past couple of hours. It is a Friday. Traders are probably wanting to go home, get rested up for the next trading week, which is the last trading week of the month. So we'll just see what kind of price action we get. You can see here we broke out of the previous M30's high and low, it looks like. Except it looks like I've got an indicator here that, oh, that's right, I did do a slight change here. Interesting. I'm wondering why it's doing those. That's really interesting. Trying to figure something out. Oh well, I'll have to come back to it. I'm not sure why these bars aren't painting the proper color. Okay, looking at the higher low, lower high with the sweet spot, or with the not the sweet spots, but the 3-level ZZ, S3 levels. You can see here there's a whole bunch of congestion, and that's why price is stuck. It's between support and resistance right here. So you have to be definitely careful trading in this choppy area right here. And for the month, the range 541, which is more than the previous 2 Marches from 2022 and 2021. So we're ahead of February's monthly range. And if we want to look at the accumulated range for the year, you can see we've pushed it up by what, 39 pips. So we've definitely added to the range. And if we look at the ATR, at 653. So it looks like we still have 100 and some pips to go. Taking a look here. And yes, of course, I could put this on all different charts, but I've got so many charts open on this, I don't want to bog the machine down while I'm shooting video. So you can see here from the yearly open, we're up 1.08%. So that's not bad. Okay, ATR percentage. Let's see where we are for this month. We're at 83% of the ATR. Okay, taking a look at the 3-level ZZ with the sweet spots. This is some of my notes that I use. So you can see here we push down. This is M5. A lot of times look at M1. You can see here we broke through the previous 3 balls from 163 and 202 minutes ago. So pushing down. So we're getting near that weekly open. So let's see what happens here. Actually, the weekly open on this computer might be different than the weekly open on my other. Yeah, we got a weekly open at 21.99. My other computer is 22.37 if I'm not mistaken. So brokers do make a difference. You have to remember that. So see, we're putting in at 3 balls so we could start to look for a possible reversal. Let's see, price between the wick zone here on the monthly. It's inside. Previous bar was an inside bar. Strong control. Coming down to the weekly. We're above the upper wick zone still. Fade the pivot. Take a quick look at the daily here. Seller strong control. Fade the pivot to buy. Not likely. Now lower, high, lower, low. So moving down. So fellow traders, I hope you had a profitable week. And I did send out batch 3 of the donationals last night. And there's something, I've updated the smart ranges indicator to include volume. So I know there's some traders out there like to look at volume, so I did that. I sent out those 2 scanners as promised. So fellow traders, I wish you all a fun and safe weekend. Hope you guys can make it back here next week. And as always, when you're at your trading terminal, remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.